Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So we have nurses who are showing very concerning behaviour. Nurses who are ruining their careers because they don't like somebody's politics, because they don't like Trump or they don't like ICE, whatever the reason. And they are allowing it to affect their integrity when it comes to doing their job. And this is making conservatives very hesitant to go to the hospital. So we have a labour and delivery nurse at Baptist Health, Boca Raton Regional Hospital, no longer employed after a TikTok video surfaced that appears to show her making graphic and violent comments about White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. So here's the video, and just to warn you, it is very, very graphic indeed. To think that a labour and delivery nurse can even think these thoughts about a pregnant woman is beyond sick. And I'm glad that she is no longer working in that capacity anymore, because would you want to go to this nurse? Take a look.
As a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Caroline Leavitt a 4th degree tear. I hope that you rip from bow to stern and never shit normally again, you.
I have no words. And don't talk to me about free speech. She can say what she wants, but she doesn't have the right to continue in her capacity as a labour and delivery nurse when you wish this harm on a currently pregnant woman because you don't like her politics. I don't care who you are or what politics you adhere to. Would you want to go to this nurse? Any sane person would say no. If a conservative spoke like that, would I think I'm safe going to such a nurse? Absolutely not. The fact that she can fix her mouth to utter those words and then she posts it on social media thinking what? That she's going to get a pat on the back? Thinking that people are going to cheer her on as she's wishing this harm on a pregnant woman? No, absolutely not. This is not free speech. This is not, oh, you cancelled her because she gave her opinion. This is somebody who is dangerous and shouldn't be working with pregnant women. For the longest time, the US has had the highest maternal death rate. And I think a lot of that has to do with catering care towards insurance companies rather than towards what is in the best interest of babies and mothers. And now, apparently, they allow politics to interfere with the level of care. Based on her conduct, this woman is a danger to the likes of Caroline Leavitt. She is a danger to her and a danger to any pregnant woman who she doesn't agree with, who she doesn't like. That is a reasonable conclusion to come to.
Making headlines, a Boca Raton nurse fired over comments she made outside of work is now pushing back. At the same time, Florida's Attorney General is moving to revoke her license and is also taking action against another nurse over their remarks. The situation raising questions about free speech and professional standards in healthcare. CBS 12 reporter Katie Benty is live tonight over in Palm Beach County with the breakdown.
Well, Jim, this Boca Raton nurse continues to speak very publicly online, but Lexi Lawler has declined comment to CBS 12 News. And because of the profane and graphic language, we did censor much of what you're about to hear.
They murdered a man in Minnesota, and you motherfucker coming after me because I use bad language. You.
That's Lexi Lawler, the Boca Raton labor and delivery nurse fired after a viral TikTok. She's now responding to the backlash.
I'm on the right side of this. You.
Lawler lost her job at Baptist Health Boca Raton Regional Hospital after posting graphic comments about pregnant White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
I hope that you rip from bow to stern and never normally again, you.
Her husband has since launched a GoFundMe calling the firing retaliation for political speech and raising money for a possible lawsuit. But legal experts say free speech has limitations in some workplaces.
The private employer, there are no First Amendment rights.
Lawler isn't alone. In the past year, healthcare workers in Kentucky, Georgia, and Virginia have been fired over controversial political posts. Now, a Miami nurse is also under scrutiny. Eric Martindale denies a post alleging that he would refuse care to MAGA supporters. Still, Attorney General James Uthmire is calling for both nurses' licenses to be revoked.
These people should not have a license. If you're going to make threats saying because somebody's a Republican.
While losing a license is far less common, experts say it does happen.
One essential criteria you want from a healthcare worker is to pretend to be, at least, concerned about your safety and well-being.
And so far, it seems both nurses do still hold their licenses.
So free speech is the government not being able to persecute people for their speech. That's how I see it. It doesn't mean a private employer has to keep you on when their patients and their clients are going to see you as a danger to them. Does that make any sense? If you're seen as a danger to patients, at least in the eyes of the actual patients, the people who could end up in your care, why should an employer be obliged to keep you on? Now, if they keep their licenses, I guess they keep their licenses, but an employer is under no obligation to hire them or to keep them on. And employers typically have social media clauses, social media conduct clauses. If you bring their organization into disrepute because of your conduct on social media, of course they have a right to fire you. As of now, there's no evidence to suggest that they've actually harmed patients. So, if they did lose their licenses, it would be based on what they've said online and the fear that they've put on people as a result of what they've said online, the fear that they've put into potential patients. Would you want to be in his care? That guy who said that he wouldn't give anesthesia care. So they're essentially saying that he would torture Republicans and conservatives if they were in his care. Now, he claims he was hacked, that second nurse. He claims he was hacked, but no one's buying that. This Lexi, she is doubling down and coming across even more deranged. Sorry, I wouldn't want to be in the care of this woman. And she's one of the reasons why I avoid hospitals. I'm all for home births and birth centers, and there's a reason why that's on the increase. So they said, please see the statement below on behalf of Baptist Health, South Florida. The comments made in a social media video by a nurse at one of our facilities do not reflect our values or the standards we expect of healthcare professionals. Following a prompt review, the individual is no longer employed by our health system. While we respect the right to personal opinions, there is no place in healthcare for language or behavior that calls into question a caregiver's ability to provide compassionate, unbiased care. We are committed to an environment that promotes trust, professionalism, and respect for all. Thanks. If she wants to go off and be a political activist, that's what she needs to do. But she has no business going online and speaking about a pregnant woman like that when she is a labour and delivery nurse. So we have another nurse, Melinda, a healthcare worker at VCU Health. She posted a series of videos encouraging people to inject ice agents with succinylcholine. She said that they should be injected with this drug and sprayed with poison. She also encourages women to go on dates with agents and drug their food.
I thought of something good. I think it's something weird spot. Sabotage tactic, or at least scare tactic. All the medical providers, grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline or succinylcholine, whatever. That will probably be a deterrent. Be safe. Okay, for today's resistance tip, I vote, anybody got any poison ivy, poison oak in their yard? Get some of that up with gloves, obviously. Get it in some water.
See, she's posting from work in her scrubs and speaking this way. I don't see why an employer would not have the right to terminate her employment based on this. This is not the right conduct of somebody with such a huge responsibility, with people's lives in her hands. She didn't have to post this, but she chose to. And there were consequences to that.
Like a gallon of water, get the poison ivy oak water, and I'm gonna put it into a water gun. Aim for faces, hands. All right, the single ladies where these ICE guys are going have a chance to do something, not without risk, but could help the cause for sure. Get on Tinder, get on Hinge, find these guys. They're around. they're an ICE agent, bring some X-Lax and put it in their drinks. Get them sick.
Now, come on. If a male nurse was to post something like this on social media and talk about drugging women, getting them sick, inducing paralysis, come on. You mean to tell me that nobody would be calling for this male nurse to be fired? Absolutely they would. So again, miss me with the whole free speech and, oh, don't cancel culture. Think about what she's saying. Now again, if she was just some lunatic on social media ranting and raving, people would probably ignore it. But she is actually a nurse. She has access to the things that she's talking about. It's not far-fetched for her to actually execute these ideas. This will not instill confidence in people who know they could be potential patients of this woman. This doesn't portray her employer in a good light. So again, of course, they have every reason to get rid of her.
Nobody's gonna die. Just enough to incapacitate them, get them off the street for the next day. Highly easily deniable. You could get sick too. Won't eat there again. I'm just saying, let's get them where they eat. Somebody's not going to be supporting these guys. Where's the hotel where they eat? Who makes that breakfast? Let's find them. Let's make their lives fucking miserable. I know we're already trying to keep them awake all night. That's good. Anything you can do to make the living conditions bad. Talk to the people who work at the places where they are. Come up with some ideas.
And where was this energy when Obama was deporting more people? Where was this energy when he was doing what he was doing while president? All of this is only necessary. This effort is necessary because of the sanctuary cities that refuse to cooperate with other federal authorities, and because the Biden administration flooded this country with a bunch of criminals, gang members, traffickers, drug barons, tren de Aragua or whatever, flooded the country with unvetted illegals. And we're still at the criminal phase, by the way, where they're deporting criminals. That was the priority. And of course, if you're hanging out with gang members and you're here illegally, ICE isn't going to turn a blind eye to you. You'll get deported too, yes. All of this energy to defend traffickers and murderers. And they had none of this indignation for the people who murdered Laken Riley and Rachel Morin. They turned a blind eye to that though, didn't they? These people are sick. During Obama's era, ICE agents weren't out on the street. They would just go to the prisons and collect them because the other authorities would cooperate. So VCU had this to say: following an investigation, the individual involved in the social media videos is no longer employed by VCU Health. In addition, VCU Health has fulfilled its reporting requirements under Virginia state law. As of yesterday, they did announce that they were investigating this matter and that she was on leave, and it didn't take them long to come to the conclusion that she needs to be let go.
Get on Tinder, get on Hinge, find these guys. They're around. They're an ICE agent, bring some X-Lax and put it in their drinks. Get them sick. Just enough to incapacitate them, get them off the street for the next day.
VCU says it let go one of its own after investigating what it calls highly inappropriate videos made by former nurse Melinda Cook. The videos share her comments encouraging viewers to physically harm ICE agents. The content uncovered by libs of TikTok on social media, with hundreds of thousands of followers weighing in on the heated issue. The university deeming the statements as not reflecting the integrity or values of our health system.
It's even more surprising because she's in the healthcare field where, the Hippocratic Oath says first do no harm. She's clearly not following her oath.
8 News legal analyst Russ Stone believes a prosecutor could charge Cook with solicitation to commit a felony offense, but he adds there's always another side to the story.
I do think there is an argument to be made that this woman is just trying to get clicks. She's not really serious about anything that she said.
Those who do want to protest ICE's actions, especially after the 2 ICE-involved shooting fatalities in a month, Stone says there is a safe and legal way for you to do it.
You cannot impede somebody, a federal agent's investigation, but you can certainly stand an appropriate distance away and say whatever you want to say. And then frankly, the phone that we all carry has a really good camera on it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with videotaping what you are observing.
So now they're looking into, prosecuting. I don't really know how that will work, but at least as of now, she has been fired based on what her employer said. She's been reported to authorities. So we shall see how that story pans out. So do I feel sorry for any of these nurses? Do I think that their free speech has been infringed upon and this is an injustice against them? Absolutely not. I'm glad they spoke out the way they spoke out because they exposed who they really are and they exposed what they're capable of. And doubling down, it's only going to make you come across as even more deranged. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care of yourselves and God willing, I will see you in the next video.